Okay, that's just creepy. Okay, so this is going to be the actual live stream for tonight. I was just dinking around earlier on the one that you probably don't know where it is anymore because I deleted it. But, yeah, we're going to dink around with some Pavilion stuff, I suppose. There's the old A250N over there, of course. Keep getting mocked in the frickin' Discord to buy a little power button overlay. Oh, out of focus. Out of focus. Come on, focus. There you go. Yeah, Sony keeps wanting to get me to buy a power button overlay for this thing, and it's just not worth it, honestly, unless it's really cheap, because it's just a button, it's just a switch, so there's just no point. Anyway, so today's stream, I suppose, well, at the very least, I wanted to reinstall Windows 7 on this computer. I was discussing that earlier. However, before we do that, I'm thinking we're going to dink around with a OS that really hasn't actually seen that much light of day when it comes to YouTube videos or streams for that matter. And that is a beta of Ubuntu 4.10, which it actually is on WinWorld PC, come to think of it. So I downloaded it, and I actually want to put it on this computer to see if it's actually going to work. Now, this computer came out in about 2003, so it should work technically. So, I don't know. Let's give it a shot. Bang. I shot it. Darn. Oh well. My jokes aside, which are really terrible, by the way, don't take them with a grain of salt. I also wanted to show, this is not video worthy, but I actually found an era appropriate HP keyboard for this computer with the same blue and gray color scheme. So I thought that was really awesome to find at the thrift store. So I picked it up, even though it's not that great of a keyboard. It's still really nice to have an era-appropriate keyboard to go along with this computer. So anyway, as you can see, it looks like Ubuntu 4.10. However, this is the beta. The monitor's going to freak out. No, I guess not. But yeah, as you can see, it boots up really quickly into the installer because I'm running this on older hardware that's actually compatible and era-appropriate and such. Now, I already did try to boot this up, and everything looked like it was going to work, including detection of the hard drive, the CD-ROM drive, the disk itself. Like, everything's detected and working, so that's going to be really nice. So, yeah. And my apologies if you hear the air conditioner in the background. It's running over there, of course. It's freaking hot in here because I'm running a Pentium 4, which is not exactly a smart idea to do on a summer day, but whatever. All right, monitor, shut up. So, we're just going to have to live with it. So yeah, there's host name. We're just going to set this to HP_Pavilion. Oh, you can't have an underscore. Aw. Can't have an underscore in the name. I guess it'd be HP-Pavilion. I forgot about that. You can't do underscores in a network name. So we want to go ahead and erase the entire disk. There's nothing on this computer of any real major importance, so we're just going to go ahead and erase the disk. It'll be formatted as ext3 with a swap. I don't know what, but whatever. This computer also has 2 gigs of RAM, which is quite a lot for this operating system, to be honest. But I didn't feel like downgrading the RAM, so 2 gigs it'll be, which will be more than plenty for this operating system. More than plenty. In fact, this operating system can run on as low as 128 megabytes of RAM, so 2 gigs is just way overkill, but that's how we're going to do it in these videos, I suppose. And this system's pretty overkill anyway for 2003 standards. It was decent back in the day. By no means any kind of a powerhouse, but, got the job done. At least for the Windows XP days. Nowadays, it just barely does anything on the modern internet. I mean, technically, you can load Firefox Quantum on it, and you can use it on the modern internet, but why would you want to do that? Okay, by the way, also, for people who are in the stream going to be watching this, of course, I do have a little live chat going in the Discord if you want to pop your head and say hi. And we are installing. It's so much slower when you're actually installing this on a physical CD versus over a virtual machine on a solid state drive, hence the MacBook Pro. Oh, what a world of difference. So this is probably going to take about 10 minutes, give or take, to install. So I don't know what anybody wants to talk about in the meantime, but I'm sure we'll find something to talk about. Yeah, the reason why I was actually wanting to install this on error-appropriate hardware is because the VM, I don't know if it's actually going to show up here. It might not, because obviously, for one thing, I'm streaming, but two, I might have deleted it. Oh, no, I kept it. Cool. One thing that I found that was odd, can I make this full screen? Oh, damn it. I didn't mean to do that. Alright, whatever. Whatever works, I suppose. But, the virtual machine that I actually have set up here, I tried it the last time, the last time I tried this, and I think this time it's probably going to do the same thing. It had this weird characteristic of getting stuck at 640 by 480 resolution, and I could not do a thing to change it, which is really annoying. But, just a little bit of a teaser of the setup here. But my guess is that when X Windows starts, it's just going to go back to being, yeah, exactly. It's 640 by 480. It might actually have gone 1024 by 768. I don't actually know. I'm going to look at this off the camera here, or try not to reveal too much, because obviously... Wow, what do you know? It actually loaded for once. It actually gave me the proper resolution. Okay. Well, I don't want to spoil this at the moment. Well, the end setup is essentially the same thing between the final release and the beta, so there's no real difference there, but I didn't want to show the UI off yet. Apparently there was a message that was retracted from the Great Pineapple. I don't know what you were trying to say, but whatever. Put that back up here. When shopping at Goodwill, install Windows 7 Ultimate for $99. You're kidding. You have got to be kidding me. That's insane. Like, you can buy Windows 7 discs for like 20 bucks or less. I don't even know how much they even go for. I never really paid attention to that. Yeah, you can make one for free as well. I just now thought about that one too. Copying GIMP data. Interesting. I forgot that this actually has GIMP built into it. The one thing I'm also pretty curious about is, will the sound work? I don't know what kind of sound effects come with the beta of Ubuntu, but this is error appropriate, so maybe the sound card will work. And one thing I also need to do too, while I'm at it, I need to make a plop boot floppy, because that actually would come in handy for a computer like this, which I don't believe boots off USB. I could be wrong. I think this might be early enough or new enough that it could actually boot from USB. But I don't want to press my luck, because I'm just too lazy to make another CD of the final Ubuntu. And obviously this thing doesn't have an optical drive in it, because it's a 2015 MacBook Pro. So, yeah. Apparently OpenSSL was in there too for some reason. That's interesting. Come on, hurry up already. I shouldn't be rushing a CD-ROM drive. I mean, that's what this is installing off of, as you can see. That is actually the factory original DVD-RW drive, and that thing's still working, which is amazing. It's crazy to think that little DVD burner drive's still going. So, I don't know. The CD-ROM drive, I think it's got some bad belts in it, because you can't open it. Oh, maybe I just got lucky that time. But yeah, it tends to act funny like that. It tends to just be really weird. Adding CD-ROM to app sources. Oh yeah, apt-get. That makes sense, because this is Linux after all. Maybe it will sound like a tin can. No, you never know. I'm going to switch the camera back over here to my hideous face. Oh, what do you know? Actually, just finished. It just finished. So, cool. First stage of the installation process is complete. Your computer now will reboot. Ask you for remaining questions. Install more packages. Make sure to remove the installation media so that your system boots from the disk to which Ubuntu was installed. Sure thing. I gotta take the disk out before it sucks the drive back in. I'm actually curious to see if the graphics card's gonna work because it's an FX 5200. I don't know if Ubuntu's actually got support for that. It very well might. I don't know. Good old grub bootloader. Hopefully that worked. I don't know. It's kind of stuck on the loading thing there. So, yeah, that's nice. Grub, you're not working. Shut up, monitor. I gotta turn that off. No? You don't want to work? I guess Grub doesn't want to work. I don't know. We'll give another go here. Nope, nothing. How weird. I would have figured it would have worked on this system. Maybe it just needs one more install. I don't know. Let's pop back in the DVD drive here. Control-Alt-Delete. All right. Yeah, this thing boots up like ridiculously quickly. I suppose we wait through the installer one more time. It didn't actually take all that long. I was really surprised. Oh, shut up, monitor. We're gonna turn that off, actually. Where is the feature that turns off the resolution notifier? Turn that off. All right. All right. So just erase the entire disk. Write those changes to disk and give it another go. I suppose if it doesn't work this time around, not the end of the world. I was going to try an older laptop, my Latitude CPI A400 XT with this, and I was going to see if it would work on that instead, because it might just work better on even older hardware than this, because this might just be pushing what this operating system was designed for, even though it would have been out at the time that this was new. It is doing something on the hard drive there. So maybe it just had a bad install. Linux tends to do that on these old systems. And must have been making the swap. And there we go. Let's give it one more go here, and then we'll see if maybe that'll fix it. Well, since nobody's in here, I don't feel like wasting all my MacBook Pro's battery. We're just going to move the MacBook Pro out of the way here. I'm going to shut the lid real quick. Yeah, I bought my MacBook Pro case. Looks pretty slick. Cost me about 30 bucks, so hopefully it lasts. Let's see, where can I put that? Right there is fine. That'll work. Unpacking required everything. Because of course. I suppose if it doesn't work this time around, we'll try swapping the disc around to the CD-ROM drive. Maybe see if that'll fix it. I don't know. To be honest, I'll miss Windows 7. Well, I'm kind of mixed about it. I mean, yeah, it's sad to see any version of Windows Go that people, regularly use. Like, for example, when Windows XP finally hit EOL, everything just kind of took a turn for the worse for Microsoft. And, freaking people kept on using Windows XP for years after it was EOL. But nowadays, there's just no point in using Windows XP anymore as your daily operating system. There's just not a lot that runs on it because, yeah, sure, you can still technically get an up-to-date version of Firefox, but, Firefox or Mozilla themselves have officially pretty much EOL'd Windows XP and Windows Vista on their software support. So that's not surprising because, obviously the operating systems themselves are not getting security updates and feature updates and such. So that doesn't really make much sense to keep on supporting Windows XP and Windows Vista. There's other reasons, of course, as to why, obviously, people quit using it, but I'm not going to get into that today. That'll be for its own video. But yeah. If I ever feel the need to or want to, I might actually try using a system that's, kind of like this, maybe a slightly bit newer, I don't know, to do a little bit of a video of can you still use Windows XP in 2018. Although technically I could also do it on the MacBook Pro, I could also do it on the Latitude E6500, I could do it on the MacBook, the 2010 MacBook, of course. I don't know. Although I don't even know if the 2010 MacBook would actually run Windows XP. I'm not sure if there's actually any kind of boot camp support. I think there's only Windows 7 support through Windows 10 support for that laptop. Yes, actually, this thing has Windows 10 support. I was really surprised, but yep, it actually got Windows 10 drivers, which is pretty impressive for an old Core 2 Duo like that. And of course, the MacBook Air, as everybody knows, the 2011 MacBook Air, of course, it's not going to work because it never works for some reason. The keyboard just wants to be a difficult little piece of crap. So, no surprises there. So, I don't know. That might be something to try. And then another thing, too, I was also going to try doing something with Windows, maybe Millennium or Windows 98 Second Edition, one of the two. And I was going to see if I could try using one of those operating systems in 2018. You never know, it might be fun. I actually got Google Maps to work on Windows ME. I was pretty impressed to see that. And, it doesn't take much, but I still couldn't believe it when I got it to work. But that might be something I'll dink with in the future. I might install Windows ME on a VM and just do that. And we're all done. All right, so what I'm going to do, because this doesn't boot from the CD-ROM entirely right off the bat, I'm just going to leave the disk in the drive. I'm going to see if it ends up booting off of it on accident. I believe I have it set to where the CD-ROM boots after the hard drive. I'm not sure. I'll have to find out. Nope, it does boot from the CD first thing. Okay, well, never mind that thought. I'm just going to tell it to manually boot the hard drive and then keep the CD in the drive. Let's do it that way. Yeah, it is set to boot the hard drive. I don't know, that might just be the boot order in the BIOS that's doing that. I'm not sure. Yeah, as soon as it starts to load grub, it just quits. So, yeah, I think this system's probably not going to work, unfortunately. As much as I really wanted it to, it doesn't look like it's going to. Well, that's unfortunate. But at least we tried, I suppose. But yeah, I was really hoping that this would work. So, Ah, well, it is what it is. I'm gonna get this CD out of the drive. Let's see, where's my Windows 7 disk? At the very least, I was going to install Windows 7 on this PC, but I was really hoping to try Ubuntu first, but unfortunately, that's not the case. Where's my CD case at? It's got my Windows discs in it. Where did I put that? I don't know where I put that. I don't know, I'll find it. Yeah, I'll find it. So, yeah. Well, I was hoping to have some fun with the system, but unfortunately it doesn't look like that's going to work. And I don't have any other discs or disk images ready to go at this moment in time for installation on this system. I just don't know where the hell I put my Windows 7 disk at. I'm trying to figure out where that pouch is that has all those discs in it. That's nice. So I'm gonna go and set my phone up here. I'll be right back. I'm gonna see if I can find this thing somewhere. I don't know where I put it. I legit don't know. I didn't put it anywhere where I lose it. Or at least I tried to do. Yeah, that's really bizarre. Huh. Any other spots? Where did that go? It seems like everything that I need, I can never find it when I want it. Isn't that always what happens, though? I don't know. Because that's not it. And, it's obviously not it either. So, I don't know where the F word I put this. I seriously thought I had it, somewhere. Oh well. Oh well. Since I'm live and I have everybody here in the stream, I think I'm going to be a nice person since the house is empty and I want to. We're going to go pull out the HP Pavilion A1477C, I think. And we'll probably dink around with that because it's technically an HP Pavilion, of course. I gotta walk out here to the computer master room. It's freaking hot out here. It really is hot. Although, actually, in all honesty, we don't need the 6735, and I was going to use that for setting up the Windows ME box for use with that video idea I had in mind. So I'll probably just bring that inside instead. Oh, excuse me. And try to use it for installing some software. Oh, God. My apologies. I don't know. I suppose another thing I could probably do as well if I'm at it, I just start figuring out which of these Dells I'm going to put onto Facebook and sell for dirt cheap just running Linux Lite. That was my intention. Obviously, I'm keeping my GX150 Pentium 3 because I just love that system. It's one of my best Pentium 3 systems. In fact, it's probably one of my only real good Pentium 3 systems because that thing up there, yeah, we'll leave it at that. See, and then of course I got the GX260 there, which doesn't really have a floppy drive, and it's mostly just a parts system. Then I got a GX240 there, which I think is complete. And then that's a GX270 there. No, that might be a GX240. That's probably a GX270. I don't freaking know. they look identical. I know this one's my 260 because it doesn't have a floppy drive in it, but nope, that's the 270. That's a 240. And then that one down there is a 270. So, okay. And then I got the GX240 in the house running Windows NT, which is pretty awesome still. Oh, there's the cat. What are you doing, dork? Ow! What are you doing, Dork? Dork. What are you doing? Want to come here? Want to come here, Precious? What you doing? Oh, silly Precious. Silly Precious. What you doing, Goober? Precious. Precious. What you doing? I don't know. She's being a dork as always. Well, now we gotta figure out what to do. I'm not even paying attention to the chat. Now there's nothing going on in the chat. My front camera looks horrible. Well, it's not much better. I mainly blame my phone's blue backlighting that's causing my face to look blue whenever I look at it the right way. Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to figure out what I'm going to do. Actually, instead of stopping the stream here, we're just going to try this. I'm bringing the old 6630 here. I don't know, I'll think about the wallpaper situation. I need to, obviously be on my computer to send that because that's where the wallpaper is. Right now I'm packing in a Pavilion just because, the one Pavilion that I was going to use isn't obviously going to work for some reason. Or it could just be coincidence that the disc that I'm using, the bootloader, is not properly installing. Or just like some weird compatibility issue. I have no idea. We're just going to try an older system here that's more era appropriate for this, from about 1999. So, would have been about 5 years old by the time of this operating system's release. And we'll just give it a go on this, because it'll probably run a little better than Windows XP does. Because, of course, I'm pretty sure everybody knows we installed Windows XP on this thing in some prior stream. Let's see, actually, let's move the A250N out of the way. Of course, eventually I plan on reinstalling Windows 7, like I said, so that's going to be something for the future. So let's just do this. We're just going to go ahead and hook up the 6630 here. Oh, come on. Alright. And this can just go down here on the floor. And then we can hook up the old 6630 here. Of course, the cables don't reach. That's fine. Let's see. I think this is the active sound card. Or it will be the active sound card. Power. This one actually has a network card in it, which is pretty nice and nifty. VGA needs to go into VGA. And then PS2 keyboard and mouse. Okay. Okay. I don't even know what's going on anymore with the chat. I just get with that. Okay. So now up. And of course the CD-ROM drive's got to be an asshole. No, nope, There we go. Alright, no, my luck, it's probably going to boot right into Windows XP. Yep, of course it is. It didn't even give me any chance to reach over and press the boot button or boot menu option. It just went straight into Windows. Well, I'll be a Mr. Nice Guy and I'll let this boot up. Even though it's going to take a while, it's only got 128 megs of RAM in it, so not exactly going to be a real whiz-bang performer, but whatever. Oh no. Your Windows product must be activated within 2 days. I don't intend on activating it right now. Because this thing's going to immediately get shut right back down. Windows CE. I don't actually have a disk image of Windows CE. You know, that actually would be pretty interesting to find an x86 version of Windows CE and running it on an old system such as this. That would be pretty interesting. I don't know, that's just me. Okay, so go ahead and restart. I didn't leave the CD in this thing's drive. I hope I didn't, because that'd have been smart. That would have been really brilliant. I don't know, I guess I'll find out here pretty quick. I gotta figure out what the setup key is on one of these. I think it's F1. Yes. Alright, it's set to boot from what first? Yeah, it's set to boot from the CD-ROM drive first. Okay, so now we'll just... Oh, sweet. Okay, I did grab the right disk. Okay, good. Yeah, I'm sure that you know I have both a 6630 and a 6735. And they both have... I think they're very similar or exactly the same, like, boot screens or something or another. Oh, yeah, nice. The stream froze. Of course it did. Of course it did. That's my favorite. And, of course, if I exit the app, it's going to crash because, of course, it's going to. So now I get to wait until... yeah, of course, the video's not going to work on my end. It's still streaming, but I don't have a viewfinder. But if I close out of this, it's going to quit because it's going to crash. This is a YouTube app problem that's been infuriating me ever since iOS 11 came out, and Google has not fixed it. It's very annoying. It's very, very annoying. It's not iOS 12. This happened in iOS 11 many, many, many times. What is the deal with this fuzzy text right here and right there? That's really annoying. Oh, now it's back. Okay. Alright, we're just going to do HP for this one as the host name because I'm too lazy to type. Okay. I don't get what's up with this fuzzy VGA output because this monitor is pretty sharp, but for some reason there's like this blurry text crap going down the screen. So let me see if I can fix the VGA connection here. No, it's still there. Oh, that is irritating. Alright, anyway. Format the whole hard drive. And just format it all. Yeah, you can clearly tell. Like, it's fuzzy in the middle there, but the outside edges are sharp. You have the factory ISO images for a 6630 or a 6735 or something similar to that effect. Because I actually have, while this installs, we've already seen this installer twice already. Down here, I actually have, pull this out here. I have this HP system recovery disk set, but I don't know what Pavilion it goes to. I've not been able to figure that out because it doesn't mention anything about a particular model of Pavilion on the discs. They're set to use Windows Millennium Edition on the discs, and they're all CD-ROMs, but it doesn't mention what model of Pavilion they go to on anything, so I don't know. One of these days I'll maybe find something that I can crack those with. And this is going to install much slower because not only is this a slower IDE bus, but it's also just a 24-speed CD-ROM drive as far as I know. So that's going to take a while. But that'll be fine. I'm almost wondering if it's the disc as well. That's a bum disc. It's entirely possible that it's a bum disc and the bootloader portion is just crapped out. I don't know. And also, by the way, I tried on the 6735. It aired out. I tried it on this system. It aired out. I tried it on another HP. It aired out. So I have no freaking clue what HP system it goes to. It's probably keyed to a specific model number or series. I don't know. I couldn't tell you what it goes to. It'd be nice to install it and try it, but I don't know. I really don't know. Oh my god. If it's going to take this long, I'm going to go do something else, because that's just going to take forever. I mean, it's installing. It's just, it's going to take forever. Anywho. Let's see. Which laptop bag has got what I was wanting to show in it? I don't even think it's out here in the living room. I was going to show one of my yard sale finds, but I don't know where I put it. It's a pretty neat system anyway. It's a laptop that doesn't actually run Windows. It's... when the heck was it from? It's like the late 1990s or something like that, I think. If I had to guess when it was from. But we'll dig that out in its own respective video. Oh, don't drop that. I don't know what... my chair just likes to get caught in the dumbest of things. It's still going. Still kind of bums me out that the power light is burnt out on this. Poor thing. I know the power light in my 6735 is still going strong, but this one's burnt out, so... oh well. At least the hard drive light works, so... that's good. They both probably need to be replaced anyway. They're freaking what? Almost 20 year... yeah, let's see. 1999 was when the system was made, so yeah, they're almost 20-year-old LEDs, so... it probably couldn't hurt to replace those LEDs. I don't know. Still configuring a bunch of stuff right now. Yeah, I like the design too. They're very 1990s, we'll put it that way. They're very 1990s with that aesthetic that they have going on. But I like them. I like that translucent plastic front at these... I think it was the 4000, the 6000, and the 7000 series pavilions of the day. Do you own an HP laptop? Well, for one thing, can you English? And two, yes, I do. It's not a very nice one, but I do have one. Well, actually, I should rephrase the first question, because I can't even English some days. Unpacking stuff still. This is going to take long. This is going to take a long time. But yeah, this should run just fine on 128 megs of RAM, because a lot of these systems from the late 1990s only had like 64 megs of RAM. And I believe Ubuntu's minimum requirements from the day required, I think it was either 32 or 64 megabytes. So 128 is more than plenty for this operating system to at least run. Probably not the best, but at least run. I think 64 megs was the minimum, but 128 was recommended or something like that. Maybe 128 was actually minimum. I don't know. Okay, well... here's the thing for, what was his name? Jacob, I think it was. I got your Discord message. Now, please don't send it twice. Okay, I don't need it being direct messaged to me as well as being sent in the main Discord chat. So if you don't, you just not do that, because you've been doing that and it kind of irritates me because I see your messages. Like, I get notified 3,000 different times, so I see it. I might not announce it, but I see it, so... And of course, this is going to take forever. It's already taking forever. I believe there is a way you can actually convert a virtual hard disk. I'm just reading what I saw on the Discord here. I know there is a way that you can take a virtual hard disk, you can make an image of it, and then you can flash that image. Well, not flash, that's not the right term. Write that image to a standard hard drive that's just connected to the computer, either physically, internally, or through USB, or even eSATA if your system has one of those. And you could just write the image that way. Installing the kernel, that sounds exciting. I found a Windows 99 ISO on the internet as an upgrade. See, it's really, you should upgrade to Windows 98. You should upgrade. Okay, you kind of messed up the end of the sentence there. You should upgrade to Windows 98 to Windows 99. Maybe. I don't know. Installing the PCMCIA module. There's no PCMCIA in a system like this. What are you doing? Alright. Well, I'm going to be right back. I'm going to go do something real quick, and I'll be right back. Okay. Yeah, I think I showed this on the Discord too. I actually had I luckily found this at a thrift store. This is so era appropriate to the A250N. This is literally the same era appropriate keyboard. It's got the lowercase HP logo in the same font. It's got the Windows XP flag. And the color scheme just is perfect, because of course it is. So a very similar keyboard like this would have shipped with that system when it was new. I'm fairly certain of it. Yeah, I'm still on the lookout for the mouse. And I'm also looking for a matching LCD, because that's really what's going to help complete the setup. See, I've got another piece to the puzzle. I just need to have an LCD or a matching CRT or something. And then the mouse. And then, it should be decent enough. Those came with CRTs. I suppose they could have also shipped with an LCD as an option too. I guess it depends on what you find first. Either or. But yeah. Thing is though, I'd probably just ignore the monitor, because to be honest, it's probably just a 1280 by 1024 CRT, like a 15-inch or something like that. So MX704. Interesting. But yeah, it's not worth it for me to buy a CRT and have it shipped in just to have a matching appropriate CRT. That's just pointless. So I'll probably not even bother with it. It's installing the bootloader now. Okay. And of course the CD-ROM doesn't like to eject because the CD-ROM drive is fucked. So I gotta do it the fun way. Which is physically grab the tray and pull it out. Because otherwise the CD drive will try to fight you and try to go back in because it's just dumb. Alright. I love how it said Debian installer, because Ubuntu is based off Debian, which only makes sense. And now we wait for the memory test, which I forget how you view the BIOS text. It's one of those keys. Finally! The Grub bootloader works! Yes! Yes! Awesome. We can proceed. That makes me so happy! Yes! And a fun fact for those who don't know, Ubuntu before, I think it was like version 5.10, they did not actually have a graphical boot screen. They just booted in text mode. Just like Debian. The only thing that it actually told you said it was Ubuntu was that message that said starting Ubuntu, just like starting Windows 95. They didn't have a graphical bootloader in Ubuntu until 5.10, as far as I know. I know 6.06 also had a graphical bootloader, but I think 5.10 was the first one. Intel 810 audio blacklisted. Oh good, it found the sound card then. Ah, IP address, not like it matters. Using Yenta socket instead of i28365. Interesting. I don't know what the purpose of that message is for. But it looks like it's found all the hardware, so that's a good sign. Of course, I should probably put back in the CD. That would probably make decent sense. Oh, you fucking CD-ROM drive. You're a real piece of crap. Quit it. Let me grab... Thank you. Goddamn CD-ROM drive. Sorry about that. Welcome to your new Ubuntu system. This program will now walk you through the process of setting up your newly installed system. We'll start with the basics. Time zone selection and adding user, and then progress to installing additional software to tune this new Ubuntu system to your needs. Well, yay. I'm in Pacific time zone. And our full name for the new user, that'll be I'll just type in my first name. And then username, and then password. Nothing too fancy. I was just waiting for myself to type it wrong. Ubuntu provides additional software and timely security updates via the internet. This is probably not going to work. What the hell, we'll try it anyway. I doubt this is going to function at all. It's trying to connect to some IPv6 address that doesn't exist anymore. It just doesn't have what this will have in it. Or maybe it did. I don't know, maybe those are timeout errors. That might have been what those were. Of course, the stream's not going to be able to pick it up because they go so quickly. Post Jordan in the chat. It's not going to work, Patrick. Sorry. Okay, now it's reading off of the CD. If I didn't put the CD back in the drive, it would have told me, hey, you want to put back in the CD? But I already put back in the CD, so it went right to reading it, so. Or at least that's what it's supposed to do, as far as I know. Of course, this is the part where it installs a ton of packages and installs a bunch of software and all that stuff. Yeah, this is the part where it takes forever. Huh. Is it actually downloading stuff from the internet? I'd be really surprised if that's the case, because I don't believe this is supposed to exist anymore. I think this is all just stuff from the CD. Or maybe it was stuff already on the hard drive. I have no freaking clue. All I know is it is extracting really slowly, because this is only a 500 megahertz Celeron, so this might take a while. Of course, there's no battery in this computer. It's not a laptop, but we already knew that. So now we wait for it to install a bunch of packages. So that's going to be fun. So a bunch of gibberish is going to be on the screen while it does its thing. This is just all the software that this actually uses. It just configures all of it. All the graphical user interface things, the text mode stuff. Unpacking screen. Unboxing or unpacking CPP, make, GDB, Linux kernel headers, all that's good Linux stuff. All the good Linux stuff that every Linux user needs to know. ACPI support, yeah, that's kind of important. HTML to text, RPM, that's a good utility to have. BLT, bunch of libraries, GTK, lots of libgtk stuff. GNOME, because of course it has the oh my goodness, excuse me, the GNOME desktop environment. I think it's GNOME 2. I could be wrong though. Unpacking Bug Buddy, interesting. Reading database. Oh, just loading more stuff. GNOME Session, Nautilus. I think that's a text mode editor. I'm not sure. Evolution, which I think is the file browser on this computer. GNOME icon theme, high color icon theme, CD record or something like that. Fonts, something common, ESP, cupsys. Interesting. I think that's got some term to it that I don't know. DocBook, DocBase, DVD-RW tools. Interesting. It's actually had DVD-RW capability since the very beginning. Well, of course, this was early days for burning DVDs. 2004 was, you could definitely buy DVD burners, but it was still very early days because the discs were expensive back in the day. I think it was like several dollars per disc to burn a DVD, so you hoped and prayed that your DVD burner actually worked in your computer. Of course, the A250N came with a DVD burner when it was new back in the day. Would have been a pretty nice feature to have on a system, especially considering the fact that the most common form of DVD burner was the Power Mac G5 at the time. Ubuntu artwork. Interesting. Of course, when you run this on a slower computer, you actually get to read all the stuff that it's unpacking, because when it's on a virtual machine on a solid-state drive, it just flies through all this stuff, and you don't get to see any of it. So it's pretty interesting to see what actually comes with one of these installs of Linux when you're running on a slow computer, or at least a slower computer. Unpacking GNOME games data. Right, because the desktop environment comes with games like Solitaire and the Minesweeper and stuff like that. GNOME themes, GNOME utils, some Python stuff. There's HAL. Good old HAL. Of course, they didn't stay for long on the screen because this thing keeps popping new text up on the screen while it unpacks all of its archives. There's quite a lot that comes with Ubuntu. Or at least this is just what it's showing when it's installing. MySQL, I see that in there. So it has MySQL in there somewhere. Of course, Mozilla Firefox comes with the operating system because open source software. Nautilus CD burner, Open Office, and there's Open Office there. Of course, that also came with Ubuntu for the longest time before they switched over to LibreOffice as the more common office suite for open source operating systems. Oh my goodness, this is going to take quite a while to do the open office stuff. You know, I'm not bad-mouthing open office. I used to use it too. However, LibreOffice is more frequently updated. So, what do you do, right? So yeah, that's just going through all of its stuff still. So it's going to take a while. It's like it's reading another database, and now it's extracting all the stuff from that database. So yeah, that's going to take quite a while because there's a lot of stuff that it needs to extract. And it takes a good amount of time, actually. It takes a good, like... I remember when I was trying to actually run the full Ubuntu 4.10 on another system, it took a good, like, at least 5 to 10 minutes just to get past all this text on text mode. It took a very long time because there's a lot to do. But then again, that system was quite a bit faster than, obviously, a 500 megahertz Celeron, so what do you expect, I guess? Good old sound juicer. There's Synaptic for touchpad support. And I think, let's see, yeah, there's X utility, so that'd be related to X Windows. So I'm almost wondering if we're about done, because the last bits of stuff that it extracts are related to the X Windows system. So I don't know. There's unzip. Yep, there's X Windows coming in on the extraction plate right now. So yeah, X server, X free 86. X server common. So yeah, we're probably about done. And there's X library, X fonts. Microsoft Office 2014. There's no such thing as Office 2014. It's Office 2013 or Office 2016. There's no 2014. X screensaver, X Sane, Yelp, Zenity, Zip, and yeah, this is gonna take quite a while. I am actually intending on making an overview video of this operating system that I'm installing for my channel. I'm going to do like a proper video about it, because obviously the installation is going to take way too long for the stream, but I think we're about done here because it's setting up stuff now. So this is kind of like the second phase of the installation process. Yeah, library SQL Lite 0 something or another, so it's got some kind of SQL compiler, or at least a translator, I don't know. Pretty interesting. Looks like right now it's just setting up all the programs that the OS uses under the GUI environment. Oh, excuse me. There's X Screensaver for iOS in the App Store. It is free. Well, probably not worth it because there's no point in installing that. But I guess I can ask this question to people: would you rather see this in a virtual machine, or would you rather see it in a video form? I'm up for either, but I'm gonna leave it up to the audience because I'm not sure what people want to see. So, yeah. Oh, by the way, I'm not doing the Raspbian OS in this stream. That'd just take too long. And then, besides, if I go to download something, it's going to cause the stream to slow down anyway, so there's no point. I know people like to see it live, but it's a lot better when I do it in a video, because then I can actually focus on it and actually do a better job, rather than trying to sit here and just do this and this and this and that when I'm trying to, I'm trying to show an operating system. And it's not really all that professional. What happened to the HP monitor? Well, it's over there. The only reason why I'm not using it is because there's no VGA cable plugged into the back of it, or there wasn't at the time. So I just decided to hook up my good old NEC multi-sync LCD 1830 with the extra view 19-inch panel here, which just Yeah, looks a lot better. Has a nice picture to it. At least for a VGA monitor from presumably the early 2000s. Why don't you have 3 monitors on the HP Beast like I do? I have not tried experimenting with that yet. I need to get an HDMI cable. Although, yeah, I think I got one monitor connected via DisplayPort. The other one's connected via DVI. So I think if I connect an HDMI monitor to, I don't know, maybe I connect my TV up to the computer, maybe I might be able to get 3 monitors, but I'm not going to probably do that because my intention is I'm going to fix my desk up and I'm going to make the MacBook Pro my priority that sits right here, and then I'm going to use the Dell UltraSharp over there as my secondary monitor with my MacBook Pro. At least that was what I was going to do. Hurry up already, is setting up all your shit. I want to look at the operating system already. I'm only kidding. It can take its time because this computer's pretty old. G-Streamer 0.8-FLAC. Interesting. That must be some kind of like audio streaming application. At least that was my guess. Or maybe it's just setting up file extensions in the operating system. I couldn't tell you. I really couldn't tell you. Oh, I love this. It says really. It says really. Ah, that's hilarious. Well, I wouldn't want to use the HP monitor anyway because it's only a 1440 by 900 panel. It's not that high resolution at all. My other 2 monitors are 1080p and the TV is also 1080p, so there's just no point. Adding new user with group IP admin or LP admin, I have no idea. It set up the common Unix printing system. This is actually connected to the network, and DHCP actually worked because it got an IP address earlier, so. Regenerating fonts cache. So yeah, it's about done, I believe. It should. And it should pop up with the little box telling me I should select the resolutions I want to use. But of course, I could be wrong. It's probably not done yet. Far from it. I don't know. Regenerating fonts cache one more time. Ugh, goodness gracious. Yeah. Definitely by no means a fast computer with a Celeron in it at 500 megahertz. This is by no means a fast machine. Some kind of print error on line 96. Or not line 96. Yeah, line 96, ST-DIN line 2. Interesting. I wonder if that's actually an error or if it's just some garbage that Linux spat out at us. You don't have any deformized font packages, so we are trying to force to generate pango.aliases. Sounds good to me. I understand that 100%. Yeah, they're good for Windows 98, these Celeron systems, like Windows 98, Windows Millennium Edition. Once you hit Windows XP and newer, it's just no. Well, Windows XP you can get by on technically, but I really wouldn't go out of my way for it. Maybe a lighter Linux distro, like for example, older Ubuntu's or Linux Lite or something like that. Maybe you might get by. Not saying you couldn't, but definitely these things are at their prime with Windows 98 or Windows Millennium Edition or Windows 2000. These systems are great for that because they're ultimate. See, this one's based on the Pentium 3. Pentium 3 based Celeron. Linux Yellow Dog. Interesting. I heard of that one. I have to look that one back up. Oh my god, how much stuff do you need to set up? Oh, headed home directory for something. I don't know. Changes will take effect when all current X sessions have ended. I didn't even know it was running X Windows. I guess it is. That's interesting. Oh no, my luck, this is probably going to cause me to have to restart. Sheesh, I didn't think it was going to take this long. I guess that's what I expected for running a system with a 2004 beta operating system with hardware from 1999, which probably dates all the way back to 1998, with only 128 megs of RAM, which really isn't the system's fault. It's a pretty common amount of RAM for a system as old as this. Although, did it get, it would have shipped new with 64 megs. It coincidentally came with 128 when I picked it up, because it was running Windows Millennium Edition at the time. But I wanted to erase all the old owner's data off of it. So, yeah, I'd like to know how much this has got to go, how much more this has got to go through. Yeah, this thing's take forever. Like, how many goddamn libraries does it have to set up? Good God. Oh, we're on the Firefox one. So it's getting somewhere. It's taking its sweet time, though. More font configuration. Yay! I love fonts. Anyway, this particular user, whom I cannot pronounce your username, I'm sorry about that. I cannot read, presumably that's Russian. I can't read that, so my apologies. But he's asking, what computer are you running? I am running an HP Pavilion 6630 from 1999. And it's got a 500 megahertz Pentium 3 based Intel Celeron with 128 megs of RAM, and its original 10.2 gig Western Digital Caviar hard drive. And we are setting up Ubuntu 4.10 beta. Yes, a beta. And by the way, it's also got whatever Intel integrated video this computer has from the day. It's actually AGP video, which is pretty surprising to see, actually. Integrated Intel video that runs on AGP. It's pretty interesting, actually. Of course, it uses shared video memory, which is to no surprise. Yep, you're welcome there. I just figured that I'd give you the whole scoop, because you probably haven't seen this computer before. And it's to no surprise, because I've never really made a video about it, so. Python. Yeah, I'm seeing all sorts of different things with that. I'm almost wondering if that's got something to do with a chat engine, or a chat room thing back in the day. I don't know. Python probably digs into the system pretty deep and has a bunch of functions that it does. Like, for example, there's OpenSSL there. SQLite. I don't know. XMP. Rhythmbox. That would be the music player there. Setting up our desktop. That's interesting. There's Samba. Sound Juicer. All sorts of stuff. Xutils. Huh. Goodness gracious. Setting up more fonts. True type fonts. Yay. Another regenerating of the fonts. Good God. How many times you gotta get this done? How many friggin' fonts do you need to install? Apparently all the fonts. Email. And of course it's from Bethesda. I probably already saw that email. And another spam email I don't really care about. Holy Lord, this is taking forever. Oh my God. I think we've been sitting on the screen for, I swear to God, no less than like 25 minutes. Finally! Finally, we're done! Oh my God, that took forever. That took absolutely ages. Yeah, 2,000 years later, we finally got it. Okay, so let's go ahead and set some resolutions here that this can, not 1152, but select some resolutions that this can run at. Assuming that it's actually going to work with the integrated video properly. Well, once it gets done with all this stuff here, it should give us another message saying that Ubuntu has been installed. It should be done with that here pretty quick. Restarting common Unix printing system. Well, good. Good for you. Oh my god, there's more setup. Oh. Shouldn't run something as root. Well, I didn't tell it to run as root. That's just an automated process. It's not my fault. Oh, my bad. You should run that process as root. Locate will not work properly until you do, or until it is run by cron. It is daily something or another. I don't know. Rip Emu Paradise. Yeah, that's not going to work for you because nothing's going to run on good old Ubuntu 4.10 beta. Nothing's going to run as far as I know. Okay, I think this is the last step. Registering documentation, please wait. So I believe this was the last step before it tells us, thank you for installing Ubuntu, it's ready to log in or something like that. It takes quite a while to do the documentation registering thing. But any second now, it should bring up that bright blue screen that tells us thank you for installing Ubuntu. Any second now. I said any second now. Good God, how long does it take to register the documentation? Whatever documentation it's trying to register in the first place, I have no idea. This is all on the CPU, of course, because, yeah. Play Cup, I can't even English. Play Club Penguin. The answer to that is for, well, actually two answers. First thing of which, no. Second of which, it's not going to run. So, yeah. Holy shit, how long does it take to register documentation? I guess it takes quite a while on a 500 megahertz Celeron. Watch this. I'm going to sit down and this is going to finish. I bet you that's exactly what's going to happen. I'm going to sit down and then this is going to like immediately finish. I just know it. It's going to do it. No, actually, I kind of got lucky. I can actually kind of sit down for a few minutes and get off my feet. So, not bad. Yeah, any moment now it should be done, because I know that registering documentation was the last step on the text mode screen before it let us go into the graphical user interface. It's just, this step takes forever to register all the documentation. Oh, goodness gracious, sorry. Still registering. We'll get there eventually. Do 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 Okay, that's probably getting boring. Still registering documentation. I seriously don't know how long this is going to take. I don't know what happens if I press enter. It just moves the cursor down a line. I mean, it's still doing something. I can see the hard drive light blinking every once in a while. So it's not frozen. It's just taking a while. This must be a lot of documentation. You wouldn't think so. Yay, there we go. Thank you for choosing Ubuntu. Setup of your Ubuntu system is complete. You may now log in at the login prompt. If you want to revisit the setup process at a later date, just run the base-config program, and you have to run that in the terminal. And this is where it starts GNOME and X Windows, so it'll actually allow you to log in. So, what do we get? Oh, okay, that's just the monitor doing that. That's not actually the integrated video. That was just the monitor. Sorry about that. I was not expecting that to happen. We are actually running in 1280 by 1024. Not bad. I would assume it's 1280 by 1024. I did set that to be one of the resolutions. I guess we'll go look at, see if the monitor is actually picking it up properly here. Let's see. Monitor, or no, display mode. Yep, we are running in 1280 by 1024. 60 hertz, of course. All right, well, let's go ahead and log in. Now, of course, I'm going to cover this all more in its own proper video. I was just seeing how it would run on a system like this. Now, what I'm curious about, if there's any login sounds, and if the login sounds actually do exist, are they going to play? Because I know that this particular screen comes up, and I know that all works. But I don't believe the sound card. I have the sound cable plugged into the wrong sound card, or the sounds just doesn't work. I don't remember which. But here we are. Here is Ubuntu 4.10 beta. Of course, hard drive light's stuck on solid, because of course it is. Come on. You can do it, Ubuntu. You're only pushing the 500 megahertz Celeron quite a lot. Oh, right, this loads Firefox. It doesn't actually work, because that website no longer exists. So, of course, it's going to pull up the Sentry scam crap. But, yeah. Get out that mouse cursor. So, let's see what comes with Ubuntu here. I got a calculator, dictionary, text editor. Got a lot of games, actually. Quite a bit of them. Of course, Minesweeper. Obligatory Minesweeper. Oh my god. The face. This face is horrible. Oh god. What even is this face? That is horrible. Oh yeah, and the best part. The best face. Let's face it. It's the best face, you know. It's the best one. Alright, enough of those crude jokes. Let's go Xane and load the GIMP. This is going to take forever. Continue. Oh, right. You have to configure the folder. For a proper GIMP installation, a folder name, blah, 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 needs to be created. Yes. 64 megabytes. Sure, that'll work. It's only 128 megs of RAM in this computer anyway. And there we go. Alright, now let's see how long it takes to load the GIMP. Or the G Image Manipulator program. I do know the acronym for GIMP. Holy crap, I actually didn't take that long to start up like I thought it was going to. Not bad. Not bad at all. Alright, I don't want to show the tip next time it starts. Let's see. Oops, wrong menu. I want to start a new project here. We'll do 640 by 480 at 72 pixels per inch. And there we go. What do you know? This thing's set up to do some graphic work if you really needed it to. Not bad. So that works quite well. So we'll close out of that. Let's see. Oh, that's very useful. Volume control. I want to see what sound card it's using. Because it didn't look like it was using the sound card. Yeah, it looks like it's just... No, that is the sound card, as far as I know. There's like a lot of different sound devices in the system. There's like Sound Blaster Live and friggin' the Intel integrated audio. And then the Sigmatel modem. And then the Cirrus Logic. I think that's a sound card. I could be wrong. The sound card probably is the Sound Blaster Live, but the master volume for some reason is muted for some reason. I have no idea why. I'll mute all the other audio sources and I'll see if that'll make a difference here. Oh, I might actually have to go into the system configuration and... Or no, what is it? The sound. And configure the sound hardware. Let's see, enable sound server startup, sounds for events. I don't know what sound hardware it's going to use, but let's see here. Sound file for this event does not exist. You may want to install the GNOME audio package for a set of default sounds. Well, actually, what I'm going to try, I'm going to just let this restart real quick. And, good painting the screen. So let's go ahead and let this restart real quick. And then, we'll see if the sound actually works. Yeah, see, even at this point, there's no graphical user interface, so it still goes back out to text mode. Oh, I gotta take the CD out of the drive. I forgot to let the CD in the drive. Nope. You're not taking the disk tray back in. I can't even English. That friggin' CD-ROM drive is a bitch. It's really annoying. Alright. So visually, let's see how long it takes to start Ubuntu. Hard drive light is on solid. It is not blinking. Apparently it's trying to mount a temporary file system over /dev. That's really interesting. There goes all the hardware drivers. LVM groups, RAID devices. Of course, there's nothing there. Yeah, this is where it starts scanning all the PCI devices, hence why it finds so many damn drivers for all the stuff on the PCI bus. Okay, there's the IP address, that's working. Of course, there's no battery, we already know that one. Of course, whatever this I82365 something or another doesn't have a release function, that's just broke. Because of course, Ubuntu. Alright, and the Windows system should be starting any second now. See if it does that garbage, I'm going to put the... Yeah, there's the garbage on the screen, so... Alright, we got a beep. So, it didn't take too terribly long to start up. About what I would expect. Of course, I doubt there's going to be any sound. It didn't have any sound to begin with. Yeah, there's still nothing coming out of the sound card. So, that's to no surprise by anybody. This is a beta, so of course a beta is not going to work properly. It only makes sense. Although what I'll probably end up doing, I'll just run the full Ubuntu 4.10 installer. And that'll probably give me the sound that I want that works. But I'll check out the beta on a virtual machine anyway, just because it'll look a lot better than on an actual computer. And this also has built-in support for Palm OS devices, which is pretty interesting. I don't actually have my Palm M105 connected up to anything. I don't even know where that thing is. But yeah, there's actually a setup program for that. And also, one thing that's interesting, the version of Firefox that's on this is actually pre-version 1.0 Firefox. So I think Firefox didn't come out until like late 2004, or was it sometime 2005? I don't know. But Firefox had its first entrance here, except for like other betas in this particular operating system. Now shut up. Yeah, here you are, version 0.9.3, released in 2004. Now, of course, this was a beta on Windows. You could download this particular version on Windows. I don't even know what websites we can actually try to load with this. That ought to be interesting to try. Let's try Google. Just for kicks and giggles, we'll try Google here. This is probably going to take quite a while to load. But it did load it. Nice. So, good to see that the LAN card's working. There's like no way in hell that this is actually going to load anything, because it's just going to stop it from loading, because this web browser is so old. Yes, accept the certificate. That's fine. I gotta plug my phone in because it was complaining that it was low. So give me just one moment here. I'm gonna try to find my charger for my phone, where the frig it went to. There it is. Oh my God! Is it actually trying to load the news site? That's impressive. Because of course, Internet Explorer 6 doesn't load this at all, which is no surprise by anybody. Wow, I'm really surprised. Of course, this web browser is so old that it's just going to bring up errors upon errors upon errors. I'm trying to install Windows XP on my side PCs, which is an i3-2120, 4 gigs of DDR3. It keeps spitting out installation error like my hard drive was corrupted because it could be because of the IDE jumpers. Turn off AHCI. That's your best friend. Windows XP, at least as far as I know, without modifying the ISO, does not have native support for AHCI-based drives. So if you go into your BIOS and turn off AHCI, then it should install just fine. I remember that was a problem I had with Windows XP when I was trying to install it on a modern system. It is trying to load all the images. It is loading. There's just so many freaking errors because the encryption's out of date. Google user content cannot communicate securely because they don't have the right encryption methods. They're probably using 256-bit, and this browser only supports 128. And mom's home, so that's nice. Hello. God, the picture is so tiny.
Hey, Bob?
What? Why? Why? I don't know. Alright, well this is obviously not going to work, so we're just going to close out of Firefox here. Oh, come on. Close it already. There we go. Okay. Now, let's see. What else can we probably do? I'm going to go open up OpenOffice, because why not? See what version of OpenOffice this thing actually has on it. That's probably going to take an equally long amount of time to load. Oh, wow. 1.1. Holy crap. That is crazy. Of course, the Debian logo, because this is based off of Debian. Ubuntu itself is based off of Debian Linux. Again, to no surprise by anybody, it's just rebranded Debian, essentially, with just a different user interface slapped on top. In fact, they actually didn't put the Ubuntu logo up there, or the GNOME logo is, until like version 6 or something. It took them quite a while. 1.1.2, man, that is old. Oh god, the mouse is lagging. 1.1.2. That's crazy. Alright. I don't think there's any desktop backgrounds on this. I think Oh, that's interesting. There's an option for use default background. Oh, that's weird. Yeah, there's basically just no wallpapers because they didn't have any at the time. I know that when the final release came out, they had some, but obviously that's the final release. Oh yeah, Evolution was the email client. That's right. Evolution was the email client, not the file browser like I thought it was. Okay, well there we go. I think that's about all I can really say. Yeah, bug report tool because this is a beta, so that makes sense. But yeah, I think that's about all we can really do on the stream, I guess, because obviously I don't want to be hogging all the internet up. So we'll just go ahead and shut this down, and yeah. Do 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 do. Deactivating swap, turning off all this stuff, and off it goes. Alright, well that's it for now, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and turn the stream off. I'm gonna go figure out some stuff, and then, yeah. I would like to have used this system here, but not everything works out as it seems, unfortunately. But it is what it is, so, yeah. That's it for now. My voice sucks.